welcome back to our PHP Advanced course, which is continuing with me, Remy Gakwaya. We are looking at PHP Advanced, making application using PHP, HTML, and CSS, which mostly part of CSS we are using Bootstrap, but also the database. So we managed to reach at this level. I'm sure we looked at we had a homework that we worked on and they had all the solutions solved, which was helpful for a lot of people. So now going forward, we want to include some of other things that are in our database. Remember, we created this at the beginning. We created the enrollment and the stream and the student. So today we want to make sure that now we are starting to be able to add especially stream name, and from there we can do the enrollment, because enrollment, let us see the structure of enrollment. Enrollment, it need the enrollment ID, enrollment student ID, enrollment stream ID, and enrollment year of enrolled. That's the structure of enrollment. And when we look at stream, is just the name. So we say ID, name, description. What the name of the stream, uh, maybe standard 1, standard 4, standard 7, things like that, so that we can be able to categorize, separate, but also manage our students. So for us to add, we are not going to add a tab here. We are now going to add a button somewhere within this particular space so that we can be able to use that button to go to add stream. And the data we are going to, the coming lesson will be using now this information, because this information has to be included to add the student, to enroll student into a stream. So if all of these people here, they are not in any class because they are not enrolled, but with the future, we'll be able to enroll them and add them in different subjects. So what we want to do, we need to go back to Bootstrap. So we'll go back to Bootstrap. Okay, we go back to Bootstrap. And then I don't need to get Bootstrap, but yep. So from there, we'll go to doc. I'm looking now, the most thing that I want to use today, which is also going to be part of your learning, is called modal. So modulo, it's a pop-up, we can say window, quote unquote, which will assist you to do what you want. So we'll see them. Okay, what did I search here? Yep. So am I in the doc? Yes, I'm in the doc. I can go quickly here and they see modal. Yes. I don't know, man. Spelling it's a little bit strange. It sounds like Chinese in English. So, like this one, this is going to, when you click this, it pop up with this particular thing. And when it pop up, we need to load it, to put inside here form so that we can be able to use it. So it's made up with the button and the code for model. Button and the code for the model. If we are using the exactly same, if we're using same Bootstrap version, this will not be a problem. But if otherwise, we face different issues, and there is different type of models that I'm not going to go into details, because I'm just looking the one that will do what I want. That's all. I just want something that will do exactly what I want, and not so fancy whatsoever. It's just like that. This one will be enough for me. And this is what I'm going to take from here. And I will now go to here And looking at my PHP, because not in the server, don't put in the server, work on index. So on the index, if you remember very well, on the index we have here, this is the index, we have dashboard and the details. So we will need to make sure that the button we are bringing in, it will be between these things. So we are going to put it somewhere here. We can, because we might add more buttons here, because that's where all the main thing are being done, but it will start with that particular thing. So with that said, we have to locate where dashboard is. The dashboard is here. Okay, this is for the this is for the tab, man. So this one, I'm talking about this dashboard, and I'm talking about this space that we need to add something. All right, so I will add it here by pasting Control V, and I will align my code so that I can know if it works. And because this code has been moved from somewhere to here, I will not need a lot of other thing apart from testing if it works or not. So if it works, yep, it's working. So this is one step, very good step going forward. So I will now go to change few things so that it can now act exactly how I want it to act, all right? So number one, I will change the name of the button. Here you need to call add stream. And okay, you remember this? You remember these things? They need to be changed. Here is add stream as a one word, and we change here add stream. Okay, so that we are good to go. And we are going to change also these two things here. Stream modal label. Okay. Because these are very, very crucial. If you miss those, then it will be a very tricky look. And after that, I think um, button is going to repeat add stream, right? Yep. Save changes whatsoever. So let me take let's check if we are in a good situation so far. I will load that. I will click that. Add stream. I'm waited to add thing. I cross here. Done. So yeah, everything is almost going through well. The next thing now I will do, I will come here to the dot to add my form because this has to have a form. So I should add the form, and after that I should add inputs, and the input one will be what. So let's see what are the input for stream. I need a name and a description. Name and description. So type number one will be text, and the name will be stream name. Yep, stream name. So remember, we are sending them in the one particular file, so we need to be very ochenjera kuti zinthu zisaonongeke ngati tikupititsa malo amodzi. Placeholder yathu ikhala ndi name of stream name, Yeah, let's go with stream name. Stream name. Again, I'll go to and another input is equal a text and equal a stream history. And here we have press the order, which will be having description. Yeah. After that, we have in the last input, and this input will be having what? Will be having. So remember, this is add stream to database. I'm trying to make sure that the name is complicated, but that's not supposed not to be there. This has to be at here, and here I should say submit. Okay, submit name and value. You remember the rule. It's you need to say save or something. You choose. You choose. Another thing that I want to point out, another thing that I want you to notice is on these two buttons. So there is two buttons. So let's save, let's save, let's save. Let's go back here and reload the page and you click here. So we have name, description, and save. So you see, if you say save changes, doesn't do anything, but if you say close, it goes. And that's what we want when we place the button of input save. So where does that coming from? That comes from the classes that has been defined here. So this one is the information that we should have on this particular input, because if we don't have that and we are not using this button at all, at all, we have no use. Why we don't have any use with them is because when we click the model, it have the button closing here, so we don't need to use again another button here or all these things. They are not necessarily. And you can also make it going line by line. That will be depending on you, but to me, the way it looks, it's fine, because the description for a stream has not to be as much long as anyone can argue. Then we are not actually to make unnecessary argument with this particular issue. But one more thing, so I will move this class to this, and I will get rid of all this particular model footer so that I don't need it. Yes, I don't need the footer. And that means I'm having a new look for my model, which is here, and the save will close. That's done. So make sure that you did the changes, because if you don't do the changes, this when you save the model, yeah, it will remain there, and that will no one like that actually. Because why should it remain there? It should close. Another thing now, remember where we are sending all our forms? We are sending them in the how do we light here? Is action. So action is what we are going to say. We say we are sending to server.php, and then we say method. We're going to use posts. All right. And we know why we're using posts, because we have done this before. With this now, I will be now creating, I can't click the save for no reason now, because they will be asking me, what are you bringing in? So if I do that, you see they take me to server PHP, and the server PHP is okay, welcome, but we have nothing to do with you. And yeah, that's totally true. That's very true, because I haven't said anything and haven't done anything on the part of the server. So with that in mind, we cross at this level. We end up to this level to make sure that everyone can make his or her modal work, and then from there we can look the way forward of adding, changing, and making sure that it look nice. Another last thing, if you want to make this look beautiful, the input you can give it a class of button, and you can say the name of the button. So, okay, let's do the last beautifying thing. So class, and we are going to say btn, and say btn. I think primary is the green one. I think I think so. So going back, reload, press. Now it's look little bit beautiful. You can change this. It can be below and the button below. It's up to you. This is your application. I'm just guiding you to go through this. So thank you very much. You are with me, Remy Gakwaya. Until next time, let us make sure that we are doing exactly what we are learning so that we can practice as much as possible. But also I'm coming with another important lesson that we need also to learn together for the sake of us to be able to share and access our code together. So until next time, this is from Technolab, where technologies are being created every day. Zikomo.